So all three class disciplines have now been cleared, and ultimately what that now means is we have just one area to go, and that is the Grand Finals. Grand Finals that test your mettle with cars from all classes. As we begin with the Derby Finals, and where we only have 4 races to do. I think each of these are at different circuit landscapes, if I'm not mistaken. So let's head over to the car shop and let's buy our next ride. And I have decided for this, I thought about using the Blaster, but I also thought about using the Venom. And well, I think for this, I am definitely using the Venom. Because I want to, and also because I unlocked this car by beating the Derby class. And I figured because of that, it was only necessary for me to buy this thing, and also to use it for our next event. Because why not? So heading to the upgrade shop, and basically because I have more than enough money to pretty much buy all the parts I need, that is what I will do. And just to decrease it a little bit, I'm going to put on the Kit 1 Nitrous because I do need durability. And also going to put these on as well, Racing Kit and the Turbo Kit. It's decreasing my strength bit by bit, but I will no doubt put that back on again. Now we got the gearbox, modified gearbox, and clutch and flywheel. The Derby class doesn't have the same upgrades as what the race and street class cars have, and that's why these parts are so cheap. And that's also why I am fitting myself with probably the best parts I can get for this thing. Just basically making sure that I can get the best out of this car by putting on the best possible upgrades, and also putting on as much tuning as possible, because you can do that in the Derby class. So, modified body upgrade, modified chassis, and roll cage. So my strength is up to 8.9, top speed is at 5.7, acceleration at 8.2, handling at 5.4, weight is at 6.1, and nitro is at 3.7. I think all of that should be good enough for this thing, but I figured because the Venom was going to be cheap, I might as well just put on all the parts and, well, just buy this thing. Because I figured that was the best way to start this. I may have to do some more grinding before I get on with the street class, but I figured the Venom was a good place to start. And also because it technically has the same number as the 2 Jump Street movies. The first one, I mean. 21 Jump Street. Anyway, let's get on with our first of the 4 Grand Finals, starting with the Derby Finals, where we will get 5 grand if we win, 3,800 for second, and 2,500 for third. Okay, let's begin the Derby Finals at Timberlands 3. I have read the description before, I don't need to read it again. I will say these track maps do get a little bit repetitive after a while, depending on their course variants. You kind of get used to them after a while, and then, well, the course becomes a bit too second nature to you after a while. And this thing has got some high revs. It can go as far up as 8,000. and already passing Katie up the inside, and immediately I wreck. Well, I probably knew that was coming, but at least I get my payback on Katie, so it's fine. I also figured because this was the best Derby class car, it was not going to take me too long to work back up to the front of the pack. At least that would have been the case had I not hit the logs. But we still have another 3 laps to make up for the mistakes. I practically have made this thing about as good as it will get, except for the nitrous upgrades, because, well, I do need strength for each of these events. And that's the way the race order runs so far. And this time I managed to avoid the ramp instead of going up it and, well, killing myself with the tree. And this time I think we might be in a good position. Just taking my time through here. This thing is still rear wheel drive, and that means it can be prone to oversteer if it gets hit in just the wrong places, or if it goes up ramps as well. That is also possible. But for now at least, I am showcasing my domination as I lead lap 3, and the race order is mostly unchanged as Jason and Sophia battle for P2, and Jason is now wrecked. Jack now joins the party, meanwhile Jason drops out of the party. And up to this point in the game, I'd say we've managed to make some pretty good progress. I thought for sure I was going to go into that water tower, but thankfully that guardrail was there to stop me, just in time. Because if that guardrail wasn't there, I would have gone straight into it. But either way, we are now onto the final lap of Timberlands 3. And Katie, who was in second at the start of the race, she's pretty much been at the back of the pack this entire time. And I really couldn't explain why. And now Katie is out. So there's our first retiree from the Derby finals. Probably won't be the last either, the way I see it. It's pretty much between myself and Jason. However, I'm pretty sure Venom, no relation to the Marvel villain Venom, will win race 1. And quite easily as well, I might add. Over Jason Walker and Jack Benton. And it was Frank who set the fastest lap. Sally 4th, Ray 5th, Frank, who got the fastest lap, finishes P6, with Sophia 7th, and Katie Jackson 8th, as she failed to finish. Let's move on now to race 2, and see how we go. So only one power hit in the end of race 1. However, I don't think that really matters because, well, I pretty much dominated race 1 from wire to wire once I retook the lead. That's pretty much what I expected. And I get a 300 credit bonus for being the bulldozer. Probably won by the fact that I slammed straight into a forklift. But anyway, those are your standings after race 1. Now let's get through the other 3 races. As next up we have Midwest Ranch 2. And then after that we will pretty much be halfway through our first Grand Finals Championship. I figured I would at least tell myself to buy Venom, because I figured that while this car was statistically the best, it was also pretty much the best car I could buy. And that billboard is not made for slamming into. Noted. As I tip Jason around, and Katie is the leader, as she has managed to avoid the chaos. At least prior to her doing that. I could have got the slam on her if I really wanted to, but it wouldn't have made much sense considering... Fuck you, Jason. I was trying to reset myself, but the game wouldn't allow me to reset. Okay, now I get my power hit on Katie. Yeah, that's the problem with having a rear-wheel drive car. The problem is, rear-wheel drive cars are fast, but they also have a tendency to spin out if you go too fast with them and you're not in control. And there goes Jason. Katie very much shut the door on Jason there as she slammed him into the side of the bridge. And right now, I am chasing down Jack. And I give him a power hit, showing my car's superiority. It's never easy to get a clean sweep in this game, but I would certainly like it if I could actually get a clean sweep with the Venom, because then it means I have at least one car in this game that effectively does have a clean sheet in terms of wins. I mean, I have pretty much modified this thing to about the best it can be for a reason, so I reckon I have got a good shot of doing it. Especially if you look at my on-track pace at this time. It's obvious to say that, well, over the course of multiple laps, my car is definitely fast. I think I can say that with confidence. It's just a matter of making sure the machine is in your control, and then you can basically just, well, go hell for leather, basically. So we got a battle for third between... Oh, never mind. Get a little bit loose. Can I make it to the finish? Come on, make it, make it, make it, make it! Oh, I almost threw that away. I was so close to throwing that away. By mere inches, I almost threw that away. But anyway, I win over Sophia, Frank, and Sally. And then Jason, Ray, Katie, and Jack rounds off the finishing order. And I think because... Actually, no. I think we'll record the replay at race 3. But anyway, got 2 wins out of 2 in the Derby finals. Now let's try and see if we can win the other 2. It also kind of sucks to say that we're not driving on snow like we were in the previous game. It would have been nice to have 1 or 2 snow courses in this game if possible, because then that would have made it a little bit more interesting. But anyway, 3 slams, 2 power hits and 1 super flip, with my best lap time in that race being a 59.2. And no top driver rewards for me, but either way those are your stats. And after 2 races, I now have an 8-point lead over Jason, as Jack now falls down to 6th as a result of him finishing last in that race. And we also have a tie for 3rd between Sophia and Sally. 2 races down, 2 to go. Let's now head to Water Canal 1. Arguably one of my best tracks in the game, because 9 times out of 10 this track will benefit the player, if you have the right upgrades. And yeah, let's go. So 2 wins out of 2 to me is the way it currently stands. And already I am in a spot of bother. However, that's okay, because I still have another... Oh shit! Yep, I knew that was gonna happen. There was no use in avoiding that. But either way, because we're pretty much on asphalt for this one, I'd say we should be okay. Once we really start to get the on-track pace moving in this thing. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I get a slam on KT. Does move me back into the top 4, and I get a power hit on Jason. I think the top speed of this thing might be over 150. But either way, we've got some battles going on at the moment. As Jason... Oh, okay. Yeah. I think Jason is the one in the speed shifter, if I'm not mistaken. And I get a slam on KT. I think it's also driving a speed shifter. But right now, we seem to be doing okay for ourselves. So Jack is the one in the basher, and Sophia is the one in the chili. She really knows how to save her stuff. Which probably explains why her car has not got as much damage as the rest of us. Oh, I went a little bit too fast there, but somehow I nearly avoided scraping the wall. So, after 2 laps, it's now me and Katie. And Katie loses control. And try not to make the same mistake I did before. I don't. And good thing I did manage to fully upgrade this thing, or else I wouldn't have been able to secure my domination like this. Still, I do want to see if I can actually get over 150 in this thing. I think that is possible. So you know what, I'm gonna give it a go. And the top speed of this thing is 160. So I think that definitely proves just how much faster my car is compared to everyone else. Anyways, I win. 3 dubs on the trot. In spite of Jack crossing the line second, he was still classified last, for whatever reason. But anyway, the rest of the order is myself, over Sally, Katie, and Frank, who completes the top 4. Then the bottom 4 are Jason, Sophia, Ray, and Jack. And I set the fastest lap with a 1 minute .29. Which is also 4 seconds faster than the next best lap. Anyway, I might as well record my replay in the final race because I figured that was one of my best choices for this. So 1 slam and 1 power hit. However, I do get a bonus 100 credits for the fastest lap, as the other 2 awards are taken by Frank and Katie. And so, this is the way the points look heading into the final race, as Jack now drops to the bottom, Sally moves up to second, dropping Jason to third, and Frank now moves up to fourth, dropping Sophia to 5th. And we also have a 2-way tie for 6th. Have no doubt in saying that will be resolved, as we will now head to City Central 1 for our last race of the Derby Finals. It's looking like we may get the clean sweep, because my car is just that much faster than everyone else's. I think that's pretty plain and obvious to see, if you ask me. But then again, I did want this to be easy, because I know these other grand finals are going to be pretty hard to pull off. And I got some huge hits there. I got some enormous hits on the AI there. I crashed out Sophia twice in the same wreck. That is amazing. And Katie now looks to be working her way up to the front. I'm trying to catch up to Jack. We go through the car parts store, just holding on to it, as my Venom was very much on the edge of losing control, but thankfully I also get an almost flawless pirouette in this thing. On the edge of losing control, but somehow able to keep it in my control. I think in terms of the wrecks that I also pulled off early on, I think this should be good enough to make me a contender for at least the Best Wrecker award, or certainly the Blastmaster award, depending on how things go from here. As Sophia and Jason are battling for second, Sophia is right alongside me. Oh, I just missed Jason. I was really trying to see if I could get the power hit on him, but I just barely missed him. As I hit a bit of fencing there, and also hit a lamppost, and that same dumpster I hit before. However, I do still have another lap to make amends. And I can definitely say in terms of carnage up to this point, I have caused plenty of it. Yeah, that was a definite scoring error there for a second. Unless the game really does not want me to get the clean sweep. Which I do suspect is possible, and I ran straight into the back of that car when I shouldn't have. That was not intentional, that was a total accident. Okay, keep it together, that's good. Okay, really want to try and see if I can actually get the fastest lap here if possible. I think because of how fast my ride is, that is possible. Anyway, over the line, I set a 1 minute 5.76. And it is almost 10 seconds clear of the next fastest driver, which by the way was Katie. So I win by 5.6 seconds over Katie Jackson. Sally finishes third, which means she should take second place over Jason. Then Sophia finished in fifth, which means she, I think, holds on to fourth. Frank sixth, Jack seventh, and it was Ray who finished in last. So, without further ado, let's get our thumbnail. Because why not? This is very much the calm before the inevitable storm. Some of it, I can confidently say, I did put upon myself. I'm not sure if I will get the top driver rewards sweep, but I think I will come close. Because of just how fast my car was. I still have no idea what happened to Jack's pace after that first race. I mean, he finished third in the first race, and then after that, it was like he just dropped out of any relevance in terms of the points battles. As in, he just became completely irrelevant after that first race in terms of his finishing positions. It was almost like his car literally got shot or something. And then he just completely went off the rails. I couldn't explain how, though. Still, I did have a good car in the Venom, and I did also manage to get plenty of bounty driving the Venom. Which in all honesty is pretty good. I was wanting to get the clean sweep, and rather surprisingly, I did manage to get the clean sweep. And I did not have to restart any races either. I basically tried to lose the second race, I think it was, but amazingly I did manage to hold on long enough to keep the elbows out and just simply come away with the checkered flag, which is what I did. I also know the top speed of this thing is 160. I think had I not hit that one car, I definitely would have been 10 seconds up on the fastest I definitely would have been at least 10 seconds up on the fastest lap in my opinion. That's definitely what would have happened, in my opinion. I would have been at least 10 seconds up had it not been for me ejecting after hitting that one car. My best lap would have definitely been 10 seconds up had it not been for that. But whatever, it's fine. And I get a big payday as a result. 4 slams, 2 power hits, 2 blast outs, and 2 crash outs. That's a hell of a chunk of dough for a derby class race. And... oh, I only got the fastest lap. Oh well, it's fine. I was hoping, but not really hoping to get the top driver awards. Because if I did that every time, then well, it would just be boring, but either way, it's fine because I still get the sweep in terms of race wins. And that's the way it happened. And we had a 5-way tie. Sorry, no wait, let me correct that. We had a 3-way tie for 4th in the end of that. So Sally, after finishing 4th in the first 2 races, goes on to cinch the podium in the second 2 races, giving her 24 points. Jason, after finishing 2nd in the first race, scored no further podiums, which dropped him down to 3rd with 21. Katie, as a result of her finishing 2nd, gets the 3-way tie between herself, Sophia and Frank, as they all tied for 17, and Jack gets the tiebreaker for 7th over Ray Carter, who basically dropped back after finishing 5th in race 1. That is pretty crazy. But anyway, there we go. The Derby finals are done, and I get the clean sweep, which is what I wanted. So 4 golds across the board and another 5,000 credits. Cool. And here is the trophy showcase. Oh, that's it. Okay. And nothing further on the career progress. Just basically tells us that we did the Derby class finals, basically. But there we go. We are champion of the Derby finals. And now we have to get through the race finals and the street finals. As the race finals will be up next. However, that will be coming another day because I think I have spent long enough here today. So, next time on FlatOut 2, Grand Finals, Race Finals.
You love the rush.